Welcome to Builder Buzz by Home Nation, where we bring in builders, developers, and everyday investors to talk about one of America's biggest opportunities, affordable housing. We'll talk about real costs, explosive growth, big mistakes, and tough lessons you won't learn anywhere else. Whether you're building homes, buying land, or just building big ideas, this podcast is for you.
Hi guys, today I'm sitting with Thais with Saenz Global. This is going to be a fantastic interview. Her company focuses on that admin support for roofing contractors, roofing companies. These are companies that are making about 20 million every year, top line, but they need help in their office to really grow. Saenz Global has filled the gap there. They've identified those pain points that these contractors have, and they say, hey, let us step in and let us really help you succeed. We'll call your customers, we'll take care of your contracts, we'll take care of the follow-up, all that sort of stuff. They fill in the gap and help those companies really succeed and grow where they otherwise aren't able to do. So tune in and let's hear how Saenz Global is making a big difference with roofing contractors. Last time we were on here, you got cut off a little bit, but Saenz Global, and forgive me for misunderstanding, not software. You guys are admin support for roofing companies. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Yeah, you're right. And then we are in a way work like software because we integrate into their software and we know it like the back of our hands, right? And then we are also managing the back end, our task management software that we built to make sure we're maintaining deliverables to the client. So
Yeah, because primarily what you do, what's your ideal customer and what are they coming to you for?
So our ideal client, they do about $20 million a year, right? Not of revenue, doing around 20, and they are 20 and up. And so they already have an existing team and they're really wanting to amplify their bandwidth. So they don't want to keep adding more admin staff, right? Because every single time it is a headache. You have to train them, coach them, and then they most likely leave.
Maintain.
So with us, it's really a business to business model. We're experts in the back end, so they don't have to coach us at all. We actually just plug in and know how to use all the tools.
Yeah. So what sort of admin stuff are you guys doing?
Yeah, we do everything from handling all the inbound calls, also reaching out to digital leads, pulling measurements, creating estimates, pulling permits, scheduling inspections. We literally are doing production.
Wow.
And then also following up with insurance, supporting, follow up with supplementing, and then COCs, and then follow up with invoicing, and then also quality control. So really, we're running the full back end pipeline.
Yeah. You mean basically everything short of putting the roof on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So, but this is maybe some clients are nearby. Some you maybe have never even met in person. How do you see any lags or any disconnects or any points that you have to make sure don't become weaknesses because you're not there, in person or really in their office? You're not on their payroll. So do you see any areas you got to pay special attention to make sure you don't fall behind in?
No, especially because we're using automation, right? So for us, it's like machinery, right? So it's really, there's clear expectations when we're onboarding. This is what we do. This is what we will not do. This is the SOP, the standard operating procedure that's built out based on them. So we know that everything that we do is all based on triggers. So if we do not get the trigger in the CRM, right, no action is taken. So we're running on triggers, boom, 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 and then finalizing everything out. So everything is also transparent because we're not using anything third party, like we're managing in our end and then pulling into everything is within the client systems as well. So all communication. So the client knows, all right, cool. Hey, we just closed an order. Cool. We already know the trigger that we're going to pull the permit. So we'll handle the permit from beginning to end and then move it into the next phase. So everyone is very organized in the back end. There's really no benefit to having someone in your office other than you have a lot of clients that go and want to get a showroom, right? That's one benefit. But answering calls, you can, do it
anywhere.
If you're using a system as your hub to manage everything that's digital, you can literally manage it from anywhere. And then, other than like files that someone's doing, but really you shouldn't be using, right?
No.
Your accounting person probably uses QuickBooks and all the receipts are all digital. You can send it over there. So truly, we have worked with a lot of contractors that don't have anyone in their office, don't even have an office. That's very common as well.
Wow. So that's incredible. If they're doing over 20 million top line and they don't even have an office,
Well, I don't know if that's the 20 million. We have clients from all ranges.
Yeah.
Usually a $20 million client does have a small office, like very small. There's like, that's maybe their, CFO goes once in a while. It's like a small little space. Typically they don't have a lot of their staff is on the field closing, jobs.
Well, so maybe you don't know this, but like the average roofing company that's doing, 20 million, how many employees are they going to have?
For sales reps, it all depends. Is that what you're talking about?
Or just in general, like in total, do you have to involvement beyond just the sales reps? Or you're mostly just communicating with those sales reps, hey, these deals are closed. So how many people are you guys, is your team, your admin?
So truly what we need to do is typically we're interacting with someone who's the production, like someone who's managing their, the success of their projects. Typically we just need one key point person that if we have questions, we can go and ask. So like, for example, sometimes you have someone that just handles your production and they're doing the material orders in their office or they're in the field. That's our point of contact when we're doing anything with production. So that's one point of contact. Usually when we're, of course, like when we're having a sales team, you typically either have a sales manager, right? Or you have like a lead sales. And so that's our point of contact if we have any questions there. And then when it comes to the back end, pretty much we don't need anything there other than when it's the finances, but that we don't invoice. We just really follow up with invoice. We will connect with their accountant. If they need any information or follow up, they'll communicate with us. And that's it. There's typically just like 3, but in some cases there's one key point of person that is in communication with us. Because everything runs like machinery. It's like
So you get involved into their actual CRM then. So you get, Global at whatever the company's name is, .com or however they do that login into their CRM. And so then you're in there and then you have your own software to manage your clients and to follow up on them. Or do you primarily live in their software? Like how does that not get really confusing? Because and not in the same CRM, so you got to figure that out, use it, then figure out how to track that, and that could like lines going everywhere pretty easily.
Yes, we've been in this for 5 years. We've literally, but there's CRMs in the industry, right? And so as we've rolled out Saenz Global 2.0, that we are literally it's built out and we're rolling out and has semi rolled out. We have really decided just to go to 2 CRMs. So we would handle all of them. We've literally used every single one of them in the industry. Like literally we've learned them, we use them. And so just of where we're going in our growth path is we're really focusing on just being able to really over and over, just repetition, right? And so we just are now working on 2 CRMs. And we know that if you don't use them, we don't work with you, right?
So really?
So yeah, if you don't use JobNimbus or if you don't use AccuLynx, we can't help you, can't support you. Right. So if you're interested in one of them, great. We have great connections that we'll connect you with and they'll reach out to you directly and take good care of you. But we won't work with a client if they're not using one of those 2 CRMs.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. And then we're 100% communicating into their system. So we're literally with scalability, right? Before we were more of a boutique. And so it was, a lot of customization and stuff like that. But scalability and like really where we're going is there's so many people with this pain point and we're out there to really, help owners and their teams be able to do what they really enjoy so they can go and like impact the world in a really positive way. Because I always say, like, if you've ever met a roofing contractor or anybody, right, that's doing something they really despise, like they love selling, but they're so stuck in the back end or the team is just overworked and just exhausted, they tend to be not really good. They're not very happy when they get home. So if you're not happy when they get home, you're typically not a happy dad. So if you're not happy, typically your spouse isn't very happy because you're not happy, and your kids aren't really happy because you're not. Right. And so like what we're really on the mission to do at Saenz Global is to like impact lives. And so that even equals the admin side. So we want to help our contractors that we're partnering with really be able to focus a lot of their energy into what makes them come alive so that when they go home, they're really great parents, right? And they're more available mentally and physically to the ones that are the biggest and like
most important.
So that's really there. And so, so we're working within the client CRM. We're managing everything because we have a lot of automations. We know triggers. It's just a lot of consistency. We have engineered this from almost 1 million hours of doing admin work the last 5 years. So
it's amazing.
very inside of we've
Yeah, you
seen
know
it
the ins and
all.
outs.
Yeah, but the clients we really work with right now, we have clients from all different levels, right? We have clients that do 2 million, and we
Hmm.
have clients that are like in the many millions, right? So, and I always say, if you're doing 1 million or
Hmm.
100 million, it's really the same skeleton, almost identical, right? Just
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then, but yeah, so our ideal client right now, not ideal, but like kind of where we're really working in is like we're more in the 20, but we do
Hmm.
deal with a lot of like 5 to 40 is also one
Hmm.
of our.
So you said this is this term Saenz Global 2.0, and then you say a
Yeah.
lot of contractors have this same pain point. Is there a correlation there between this, because you've gone from boutique now scaling, and I think that might have to do a little bit with the Saenz Global 2.0, and then the pain point that you're looking at. Can you tie those things together? Are those correlated? What the vision is going forward with
Yeah.
Saenz Global?
Absolutely. Simplicity, right? So most
Hmm.
of the time, CEOs and their team, they want simplicity. Like when you're going to work with a company, you want the onboarding to just be like, bloop, 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 done. Okay, you guys got it. Boom. So that's one aspect that we really have spent hours
Hmm.
engineering. We brought in some incredible, just like experts in in automations, all with the goal of how the client experience is, which is
Hmm.
we want to make it easy. You just want to simplify it, right? So even on onboarding, before onboarding was really robust, like very
Hmm.
intensive. And now we've shrunk down our onboarding to 2 days, like 2 weeks, sorry. So in 2 weeks,
Hmm.
you get onboarded,
Wow.
right? Because literally it's like so easy. And
Mm.
we're building out your SOP based on best practices within the industry, based on your selections, right? And so now it's
Mm.
like a quick, you get on, you set up, you get your to welcome, you get your email, you just got to
Hmm.
give us access to this and this. We'll start on the back end. How once you
Hmm.
completed that, you then unlock, right? Like Mario cards or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you finish those two. Now you're unlocking the next phase, which is your SOP builds. And
Hmm.
then you're just going through and clicking boom, 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 the best practices we're providing you with. And then boom, the SOPs are built out there. Then we can just integrate, boom, and go straight in. So 2 week onboarding process, 10 days from the day that you finalize your forms, right? So we can't
Yeah.
be
Fill everything
custom.
out.
Yes, very simplified there.
Yeah.
We will also, where we are providing really like information for our clients that they can move the needle for, like also know where they're
Hmm.
going. So data, right? So like, again, we're pulling data that's their sales team, their team be like, cool. Like the CRM has that data, but we're giving them even more intense data of like what's going through on Fridays, right? So just really being, we can track everything. If anything goes, hey, there's a gap
Yeah.
here. We already know what's going
Yeah.
on, right? So really engineering the back end so it's moving like machinery.
That's good. Simplicity. I love that.
Yeah,
That can't scale without simplicity. Well, I mean, I suppose you can. You can scale with complexity, but it's just,
you
I don't know if
can.
you call it scaling or you just you clawing. You claw your way to growth. So if a customer, a client comes to you and says, "Hey, Thais, we're like now. Here's our situation. Here are the calls we're getting, or you know, here are the leads that we have. Can you tell them we can expect this amount of growth with how we're going to be able to help you? Because I would imagine you have, like, say I went to the dentist a couple months back, right? And I had called them even months prior to my actual visitation and to my appointment, and they didn't pick up. I left them a message. They called me back once. I missed it, and then they never called me back again. And like I wanted to go to the dentist. I wanted to go get some things checked. They never called me back again. Eventually I kind of got around to it because I'm not like, knocking down their door. I was like, oh yeah, I need to call them back and schedule this. But if they had been following up with me, they could have gotten me in months ahead of time. So I'd imagine that you have an idea of the success of your just simply following up with customers, answering the phone, those sorts of things. It's amazing how many businesses don't do that. Are you able to, when a customer comes to you and says, "Here's our situation," can you give them a kind of projected, yeah, we can expect this percentage of growth or this sort of revenue based on what you have? Do you have confident numbers from historical data to give some insight for new customers?
Yeah, that's really good. So that insight is literally what we've built out to provide for the client, right? Because
Hmm.
again, we want to provide. It's so funny. Like a lot of decision making, sometimes people are based on emotion. Like, they're doing. It's like no. Let's show you what we're doing, or they're not doing great. Here's the data showing that it's not
Yeah.
going so great. So data is leads the path. So in the past, for example, what we used to calculate, right? There was
Mhm.
not a measure, there was measurables, but not at that robust, right? It was more like,
Yeah.
our churn rate is low, like our client successes are,
Mm.
like we have clients that have been with us for 5 years. We were with them when they were at 3 million. Now they're at 47 million. So those are
Well,
success rates. So like, cool. That was how it used to run, right? But now
mm.
the exact information that when we are in a call with a client and we're like, okay, cool. So you currently have XYZ calls coming in.
Mhm.
First of all, using best practice in the industry, when you're doing a follow-up, you really should be following up multiple touches, right? And that's already
Mhm.
part of the standard operating procedure. And so and that's already part of the process, right? So that's another thing. You don't have to be like, hey, I'm going to follow up. I followed up. It's like, no, like the follow-up is
Mhm.
consistent until the standard of like
Yeah.
stop.
Yep.
And then all the note taking is robust, should be like a medical file, right? So if an owner
Mhm.
goes into the CRM, they don't read followed up with the client. That's not what they read, right? They read very clearly what took place, who
Mm.
answered, who not answered, what is taking step next, and like what's the outcome going to be. So it's like, again, framework for everything that we're doing, and even the
Mhm.
notes that we're putting in the CRM. So at this time, I cannot provide that exact information, but I can tell you that literally in a few, let's
Yeah.
say 2 months, that will
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
That's fantastic. That'll be really good. Yeah, I imagine that your closing rate will go way high when you're able
Yeah.
to say, yeah, here, check this out. This is what we've actually done, and here are the numbers to prove it. So when you have a client come to you, you say you got to have these two systems, right? You're either working with JobNimbus, or what was the other one?
AccuLynx.
Okay, I can think. So I wonder because roofers not the most tech savvy, and they're coming to you because that office support, so they maybe don't have the best processes in place, if any. They might not have any process at all. So do they ever come to you and you have to, I don't want to say build their business, but kind of help them unlearn some things and learn some new ways to do business? And do you get any resistance on that? Are there any particular things that roofing contractors, they keep, like a lot of them have this particular problem with their processes? Anything like that?
Yeah. So question in regards to like a client doesn't have a CRM. That is still very, very, we hear that a lot, right? And
Mm,
so when we're going to meet with a client for a discovery call, right? What we really are doing on this discovery call is just simply seeing if we can even help. So there's
yeah.
many times where we can help, right? Where we'll get the information, be like, okay, we're kind of diagnosing, like, I'm not the right doctor for your situation right now, right? But I
Mm,
can point you to some really great resources that could, be the right fit for what you're needing. So if the client comes to us and says, does not have a CRM, okay, cool. Like, are you interested? Do you find value in a CRM?
hmm.
Do you understand the value? Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, here we go. We can get, JobNimbus, AccuLynx to reach out to you, and you can kind of connect with them and see what's a good fit. Once you
Hmm.
have that set up, feel
Come
free,
back.
like, we'll
Yeah.
come back, or we can do some follow up on YouTube. If that's something, we'll add those triggers and we'll follow up with them, see how they're doing on that. So we want, like, even when it's a discovery call, for it to be of value to the client, right? That
Yeah.
they leave like getting some value. So if it's not, and if there's resistance, we don't really want to work with you if there's resistance,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, well, I don't want to, like, I don't have anything to force you, right? It's like,
Hmm.
we're here for you. So if
Yeah.
it's probably not the right time, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have to make that decision, because
Hmm.
really we want to win. Like, we win the Super Bowl, the World Cup. You bring
Yeah.
in a league, they train together, play together, win
Yeah.
together. And so that's really what we want. We're like, want to help those, the contractors that are like, I'm really good at selling. I'm good at hunting. I'm not good
Hmm.
at cooking. So I need some help in the back end. And so
Yeah.
just right. And then we also
That's
provide some good tools. Like, if we're not able to help, we provide a checklist of like, hey, this is stuff right here that you should probably get together, right?
hmm.
This is
Hmm.
what we recommend. So again, just giving value we want them to succeed. And then maybe down the line, we can work together. And even if we don't, we want you to crush it anyway. So that's
Yeah.
kind of,
That's really good. And so it sounds like you have your own system that you built out, or are you using one of the CRMs that you use for your clients?
so every client we work with, we're in their CRM. So the
Hmm.
client does, when we're working together, they just give us user access, right?
Hmm.
And so they can call us the We Care teamer,
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, they put us in there, and we are then communicating internally in their CRM.
So
Well,
you don't, sorry,
we're
yeah,
not,
go ahead.
we're not extracting the data and putting it like, there's no extraction of data with CRM, right? So we're inside of their
Hmm.
CRM. We're keeping track of everything, is more of a system, like tracking, that we're like getting
Hmm.
things completed. this trigger
And,
went off,
and
completed.
so is that what you're tracking in their JobNimbus or the AccuLynx one? Are you doing that in their CRM, or do you have your own for all of your clients? Hey, we need to be tracking these sorts of things. Like, you don't want to repeat data entry, but also you might not be able to track what you want to in their CRM, because not their customers are your customers, but they're your customer, right? So how do you keep track of everything and not have duplicate data entry? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So what it happens is we have our team members that are specialists, right? So request comes in, we're in the JobNimbus. JobNimbus is set up with triggers. It goes to our team, like, right? It triggers it to us, and then it goes into the division that I need to. Permit pulling, right? Permit request comes in, boom, goes to the permit team. Permit team completes the permit, and boom, completed. And then it's inside of the client CRM. So everything's rolling in the client CRM. And then we're just getting as the tag of what needs to, and it's leaking us directly to the request. So everything's working inside of their system.
Wow. That's amazing. Do you think there's to being from Brazil, and it sounds like you have some of your employees are from Brazil, then some are from the US, and maybe some from elsewhere, from other countries. Is the benefit having been raised in Brazil, or is that just something that you're more comfortable with and happens more naturally, or is that intentional?
So I really was, I was born when I was 3. Then I lived in Mexico for some time. And then my parents, we moved to the US when I was around 7. So really, I spent like 30 years of my life in the US. So I would say I'm Brazilian by blood, but totally when it comes to business, totally US, like American style, like corporate America. That is like my jam, right? I would say I'm like a corporate dropout, right? Like really successful corporate career. If I probably hadn't started Saenz Global, I would like just have kept going as where I was going, right? So the part of like getting, when I started the company, there's a beautiful part of knowing different cultures. And I was, at that time was also managing countries. And so Brazil and Argentina are 2 countries I know well, because I have one Brazilian, and then also I have some good friends in Argentina, right? That also lived in the US like me, have really great English, and then moved back to Argentina. So when I started Saenz Global, I was like, hey, do you guys want to team up together? Because there's incredible talent, right? And so, hey, do you want to team up together and let's partner together? And so, yeah, that's kind of it. There's so much talent in the world. And I'm like, our team is US, Brazil, and Argentina. That's where we're at. And so good people know good people. That's where we've gotten our team too. And yeah, it's just a lot of talent everywhere. And now with, being work remotely, you just get incredible talent around the world. So really high caliber individuals. And it's cool because good people know good people. Every single team member in our company was recommended by another team member.
Oh, wow.
And then go through. So just really great, incredible individuals.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Good people know good people. So how many Saenz Global?
Yeah. So we are at 87 team members. Yeah.
It's a lot to keep track of. And before this call, I was with your personal assistant. So it sounds like you've got a lot on your plate to need someone to filter through some of that.
Yeah, we have a really solid team. I really focus on the selling because I love sales. That's my jam. So I work alongside with our team, but it's really not, it's just more like sharing of what we do. And yeah, that's kind of there. And then we have an incredible ops team they manage. And also we have some great systems in place.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was gonna ask, what's your day to day look like? And I imagine a lot of sales.
Yeah, actually, I have everything blocked out. So I have, we invest a lot in coaching, right? And so that's kind of what got us to where we are fast. I'm very much believe. And so really just says like, you can only go as far as the leader. So really being intentional with like blocking my time. So actually only 2 times a week am I really focused on certain things and then blocking it. So other days I'm being like really intentional with like meetings and things of that nature, podcasts, stuff like that. So yeah, it's every day is a little different, but also consistent. That makes sense.
Yeah. Simplicity. Well, I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you for too long. Really fantastic, Thais. It's just been really, I'm thankful for having you on the show here. It's been being with you. And if you worked in our as well, actually some things that I need work on with SEO and marketing and those sorts of things, you guys could do anything with your leadership and the team that you guys have. You could do fantastic. And if I needed you for SEO, I'd hire you. If I needed you for roofing, I would hire you. If I needed you for anything else, absolutely. If Thais is leading it with her team, it's going to be excellent. It absolutely will.
Thanks. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So if people want to hear more, if they want to know more, you just let them know where should they go. What's again that ideal customer? What should they look like? How should they prepare? Because it sounds like once they get in with you guys, it's like rocket fuel. It's gonna blast off. So they'll want to be ready. So yeah, a little insight into that would be great.
Yeah, and also Rocket Fuel is a really good book. If you haven't read it, you totally should. It's awesome. Sorry, super side note. Okay, yeah, if you want to connect, we are all over the socials. So Saenz Global, which is Saenz Global, you can literally find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify. You can find us on
everywhere.
Instagram. Yeah, anywhere. And yeah, reach out. Our team is always happy to help, and we're here for you. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Thais. Really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, take care. We'll see you.